relationship to my husband 3 years ago at San Moritz?
I heard the question, Mrs. Whitney.
Well, I'm waiting for an answer.
I can assure you, Mrs. Whitney, that I met your husband for the first and only time in San Moritz. I never saw him again until I came to Monticello. I was a college girl vacationing with a friend.
Did you two date?
We double dated. His friend, my friend, Mr. Whitney, and I. We had dinner a few times. Spent an afternoon skiing.
So, what can you tell me about his friend Jeff Brown?
I'm not sure I can tell you anything. I remember so little about him. He was quiet, I remember. Almost brooding. I don't recall anything else.
You certainly do have a rotten memory. Now, one more thing. Did you notice if either Sky or Jeff had a scar across his back on the left side? It looks sort of like this.
Mrs. Whitney, how could I possibly remember something like that?
Well, did you sleep with my husband?
This conversation is ridiculous. I refuse to discuss it anymore. I will not try to satisfy your insecurities, Mrs. Whitney, whatever they may be. Good day.
Darling, I am a very persistent person, so you might as well just answer my questions right now.
All right, Mrs. Whitney. I don't know what you're looking for, but I'm going to tell you something you may not want to know. Your husband doesn't mean a damn thing to me. But I obviously mean something to him because he's just offered me a very good job. Good day.
You two haven't seen much of each other recently, have you? Well, I mean, you know, with your schedule and all. I suppose you'll want to rectify that, won't you?
I don't know. Gavin, we don't seem to see eye to eye on anything anymore.
Really? What was so interesting about your luncheon with Kelly?
Well, it wasn't seeing Kelly that was interesting. It was seeing somebody else at the restaurant.
Who was that?
Mrs. Schuyler Whitney.
At Sid's Tavern? Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, she was having lunch with Valerie Bryson.
Oh, it gets more intriguing, doesn't it? That was a very short honeymoon.
You know, Gavin, I think now that the Whitneys are back, I'm going to go talk to Schuyler. I want him to know as soon as possible that I'm leaving the dance company.
Look, I told you, Jody, let me handle it. Sky is a barracuda when it comes to something he wants or doesn't want to happen.
No, we have agreed upon this. Now, he has to be told that I am not capable and I am not ready to open. I'm the one who's going to tell him because it's my responsibility. You don't even have to be involved with this. No, I am the one that has to face him, and I'm going to do it.
Okay. I'll respect that, Jody. I just want you to know that I'm behind you no matter what you do. So if you need any help, just call.
Thank you. That helps a lot.
When are you going over to the Whitney mansion to tell Sky?
Well, I think you should know as soon as possible. I mean, it's no use dragging it out any longer. Besides, this way, then you and Sky can start looking for a replacement.
Yeah, I know. The opening of the company is only a few weeks away. Breaking in a new dancer, even a fine professional, is going to be difficult. It means the whole company is going to have to make heavy adjustments.
I know.
Listen, Jody, are you sure you don't want to take some more time and think about this?
No. Might as well get it over with. It's only going to hurt more in the end, right?
Our decision, huh?
Yeah. I'm scared. But I'm going to go through with it. I'm going over there right now and tell him. See you later.
Bring your eyes to me. To me. That's lovely. Okay, come a little closer. That's perfect. One more. Let's call it a day, huh?
I feel ridiculous. This is not my line of work.
Martine, you are going to be wonderful. I've already told you you are a natural. After all, you can use the money. Or am I wrong about that?
Yes, unfortunately you are right.
Martine, this modeling could be the beginning of a wonderful new career for you. You wouldn't have to work so hard as a model. Think about the money.
Well, I told you. That's all I'm thinking about. Do you think I would be here at all if it wasn't for that?
All right. Then to get your mind on other things like moi, I will give you an advance.
I think you are taking big chances. For us to be together at all could be very dangerous.
Martine, any connection between you and I will go completely unnoticed here in Monticello. You can take my word for it.
I'm not taking your word for anything. It's very funny to see you making an honest living for a change.
My dear, I have always made an honest living.
Was it honest to make a career of robbing people?
Martine, you must admit that I never once cheated a fence or an accomplice. I was honest to the core, and I did everything possible to uphold my honor among other thieves.
Well, if you were honest, I am Sarah Bernard.
Oh, okay. Martine, I have a thriving business here. I am making a success of photography, so I have no need to borrow from someone else's treasury.
I wish I could believe you, but I know you'll never change.
But I have. I have already.
No. The only thing you will ever change is your clothes. Hello, Carl.
Valerie? How was, lunch with the beauteous Mrs. Whitney?
It was all right.
Well, just all right.
Just all right.
Seems to have been a rather short lunch period.
Well, I wanted to get back and finish the prints of the wedding. The Whitneys will be anxious to have them, I'm sure.
Finished them last night. But if you are anxious, you can develop that film I just finished.
Okay, right away.
Tell me, Val, what do ladies talk about these days over lunch?
The same thing men talk about.
Which is?
The opposite sex.
It's fascinating. And what did you ladies decide?
That the opposite sex certainly is opposite.
Yes. The Whitney Mansion. I could find my way through this house in the dark.
Hello. This place is picking up, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to do all right here, April. I got things more organized in the kitchen now, and we are rolling along much smoother. I really am happy the way things have worked out.
So am I. You've worked hard. You deserve a little success.
And how are things going with you?
I am fine. Really, I just have to, keep an eye on myself so I don't go moping around. Gotta keep myself busy.
Yeah, I know. It ain't easy keeping up your spirits with Draper gone and all.
I'll survive, Sid. I always do. But I like it less and less as time goes on.
Have you heard from Draper?
Oh, I hear from him every night. Look, I hope this job is a success because someone has to pay for the telephone calls.
Is he still in Switzerland?
No, he's in France now. He's been to Marseille and Lyon, and now he's in Paris.
Paris. Ooh, What an experience. I've never been farther than Omaha, Paris. Imagine that.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I am imagining myself in Paris with Draper.
April in Paris, eh?
Oh, you didn't say that.
I deserve to be docked for that.
You have no shame. Excuse me, there's someone I know here.
Oh, sure.
Well, I must say this is a surprise seeing you here. Hello. Well, that's true. I usually don't patronize places like this. Actually, it's a very nice place. It's very quaint. Well, I guess I'm glad you like it. Aren't you going to ask me about my honeymoon? I'm sorry, I was just going to ask you. It was wonderful. We had such a wonderful, wonderful time. Oh, I had hoped you would. We went to all the tourist places. We went to the theater. We went to the ballet. We went to nightclubs. We went to the top of the Empire State Building. This guy said he'd never been there. Of course, he was lying. We stayed at the most luxurious hotel. It sounds perfect. It was, almost. This guy conducted a little bit of business while we were there. It didn't ruin anything, but it's just that it took time away from you. Yes, and it was my honeymoon. Well, now that you're back, what are you going to do? Oh, well, Sky's very busy with the dance company, and I have the house to worry about. I have to get more help because you wouldn't believe what I have facing me. I can imagine. Oh, he's fine. Draper's just fine. I was just going to ask. I knew you would. Sorry. Well, anyway, as soon as we get our house all settled, you'll have to come over for dinner, okay? Sure. I'd love to. I really want you to meet Sky. He's a wonderful man. I'm sure he is. Anyway, he's waiting for me right now. So I had better get going. This should take care of it. Could you pay my bill for me? And this place is nice. It's just quaint, you know. The unicorn had so much flash. Yeah. Well, it'll be all right. Yeah. Nice to talk to you. I'll see you later.
So this place is quaint, eh? Was that the,
It's Mrs. Schuyler Whitney now.
I don't think I want to know her.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about that, Sid. Raven isn't someone you know. She's more like someone you experience. Sort of like a natural phenomenon. Sort of like the wind.
Yeah, or the measles.
I say,
An exciting life, don't you?
Yeah, too exciting sometimes. If you ask my wife, that's all the time. I mean, she's already sore enough about my line of work, and then this has to happen.
How did that happen?
Oh, Tal and I were busting some punk in the rooming house the other day, and he decided that he didn't like it. So we went in our usual polite manner. I went over to introduce myself. We danced around a bit, and suddenly I see this bullet coming at me. Well, I try my usual dodge, but I'm afraid this time I caught it.
Well, thank the Lord it wasn't any worse. Could have been worse, you know. At least you're sitting here telling me about it. Is it going to be all right?
Oh, it's going to be fine. I should be out of this thing another week or so.
Is it going to be just like new?
Oh, every bit as good.
Who was the bad guy?
Some local punk by the name of Jimmy Krause. One thing I do have to say for Krause, though, he's got a cute little lawyer.
Do you mean clever cute?
No. I mean cute, and that she is.
A lady lawyer, huh?
Uh-huh, and I must say she's quite a lady.
Do I detect a note of lechery in your voice, Detective
No,
Stoner?
not me, sweetheart. I am still a very married man.
I realize that. I just hope you do.
I'll keep it in mind. Hey, Kelly, how you doing?
Fine.
Does it ever strike you that I'm always leaving just as you're arriving? You think that could mean anything?
Yes.
Well, look, if you guys will excuse me, I'm due in court on a very serious matter, an arraignment. You take it easy.
Good luck. You take care.
Yeah, I will. Thanks. Bye.
You and Jody had lunch today, huh? At Sid's?
Yeah, we did.
Well, anything to make her happy.
That's the whole point, Gavin. She wasn't very happy at all. She was real edgy at lunch, like there was some kind of problem. That's why I came to talk to you.
Well, I know what the problem is, man. She finally made the decision about the dance company. She's pulling out.
With your encouragement?
I didn't push it, if that's what you mean. After she's decided, I offered to go tell Sky Whitney myself that we needed a replacement. But Jody wouldn't hear of it. In fact, that's where she is right now, on the way over there to tell him. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that meeting.
Yeah, me too. But I think the trouble has more to do than just quitting the Whitney Dance Company, Gavin. I think it has to do with you.
With me?
Well, both of us, actually. She's all mixed up right now, and I think it's up to you and me to help straighten things out. Help her make a decision.
I don't think so. I think it's up to Jody. Whatever Jody wants to do, she'll do. And when it comes to decision-making, I think she's more than capable. I learned that today when she told me she was so determined to tell Sky herself that she was resigning. Don't you think she's capable of making her own choices? Kelly, do you feel the same way about Jody as you did? Do you?
Oh, thank you.
It's Chrissy, sir.
Well, Chrissy, I do hope that you will enjoy your stay in our little household.
Oh, I'm sure I will, Mr. Whitney.
Oh, is my wife on?
Oh, no, she went out earlier.
Oh, any messages?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well,
Oh, there is a young lady in the library. Oh, I hope it was all right for me to admit her. She said she works for you.
sure, that was fine. Thank you, Chrissy. Jody! Well, hello, my dear.
Hi.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, but, well, I didn't know that you were...
No, that's okay, that's okay. I realized my visit was unexpected. I should have called first, but I just took a chance that you might be here.
Right.
So, how was your honeymoon? Did you have a good time?
Oh, yes, we did. Oh, well, here. Sit. Now, tell me everything about yourself. How are you feeling? You certainly look well. Oh, yes. You know, you had me a little concerned at the reception the other day.
I want to apologize for that. It was just an unfortunate incident. I guess you probably figured I'm not used to too much champagne.
Don't worry about it. You'll get used to it. Just as you'll get used to opening nights and to the attention of the press and the adulation of the public.
That's, why I'm here. I want all of those things to happen someday. But I don't think it's going to be any day soon.
Jody, what do you mean? Opening is coming upon us very rapidly.
I want to be honest. I've made a decision. And it wasn't an easy one to make. I want you to know that.
Jody, just what are you talking about?
Please don't get mad. What I'm trying to say is I can't open on schedule. I'm not experienced enough. I'm not good enough, and maybe I'm not even talented enough. Whatever the reason, I just can't go through with it, and I'm sorry if I'm disappointing you, but I thought if I told you now, it would give you time to find an experienced professional who could open on schedule.
Now, I don't know what's going on around here, but I do know for damn sure that Gavin Wiley put you up to this. Oh, yeah, I can see his fine hand behind
No, it was my decision alone. Although, Gavin does agree with it.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, I don't agree with Gavin. And I'm telling you that right now, and I'm going to tell it to him just as soon as I can find him. Now, you just listen to me, young girl. You can do it. I know you can. Now, I am giving you the chance of a lifetime. There's no way that you're going to back out on me now. I've got too much at stake. I am not going to delay the opening of that dance company again. Now, you gave me your word, Jody Travis, and you're going to keep it.
No,
you just remember that.
I can't go
The hell
on
you
it.
can't! You can if you believe you can, or if for no other reason than I am demanding it.
No,
You will do as I tell you. And I will not take no for an answer.
Stop it!
Right after the honeymoon. Kissed the girls and made them cry. My goodness, and she's just a baby.
I'm not interested in babies. I'm only interested in grown women. In fact, I'm only interested in one grown woman.
Excuse me, I think I have to go soak in a hot tub.
Fat rubber ducky. Say, listen, did I pack this suitcase here? If I did a terrible job. I can't find anything.
Oh, don't blame yourself. It was the maid. She brought those suitcases up, and she dropped one, and all the stuff fell all over, and so I had to have her repack it. Oh, by the way,
I ran into somebody today.
Oh, who might that be?
Oh, that little photographer friend of yours, Valerie Bryson.
Oh?
Yeah, she sure is a strange girl.
What makes you say that?
Well, she's just so secretive, you know. She doesn't like to talk about her background or her past, but I guess considering her father's problems, I don't blame her.
Is that a fact?
Mm-hmm. You know, she told me something else.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
She told me that you offered her a job. Is that true?
No. Well, not that I know of. I mean, I do own a lot of companies. Any one of them could have offered her a job, but I don't know anything about it.
Oh. I guess that must be it.
Yeah. I imagine that must be it.
Now I can get into that room whenever I want. And look at that picture again. Valerie Bryson told me something very interesting. She said that you offered her a job. Is that true?
No. Well, not that I know of. I mean, I do own a number of companies. I imagine any one of them could have offered her a job.
Ah. That must be it then.
Yeah, that must be it.
Now I can get into that room whenever I want. And look at that picture again.
Hey, listen, you're gonna stay in that bubble bath all day. You're gonna get old and pruny looking.
I will never be old and pruny looking.
Promise?
You bet.
Say, I'm gonna have to go out again for a few minutes.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's business. I'm sorry.
I don't believe it. We've been married a week and already I'm a business widow.
Well,
Might as well take up golf.
I've got to go over to the dance company and straighten out a few things with Gavin Wiley about the opening. And while I'm at it, I'm going to have to straighten out Gavin Wiley. That is really neat stuff you've got on. Is that the bubble bath?
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
It's called Entice.
Heady stuff. Is that what you're trying to do, entice me?
Yes.
Lady, you win.
Wiley Dance Studio.
Wiley?
Yeah, this is Mr. Wiley.
Okay, Mr. Wiley, this is Mr. Whitney calling.
I know. What can I do for you?
You can stay put, just where you are.
Oh, I plan to. Any special reason?
Yes. On my way over to the dance studio, there are a few things that I'm going to discuss with you. I am going to straighten you out, my boy.
Well, certainly I need all the help I can get. I look forward to it, sir. And what time may I expect you, sir?
20 minutes. Be there.
Oh, indeed. I'll have just enough time to shave. Goodbye for now.
Be there.
Where the hell else would I be? Hi, Jim.
Hi.
I just talked to our beloved founder. He's on his way into town, bringing with him, I have no doubt, a long and boring speech delivered with all his graceful phrases, all of them ill-chosen.
Gavin, is he coming here to see you about me?
He didn't say. But if I laid a bet on it, I'd win a bundle. What happened, Jody, when you told me you were withdrawing from the company?
Well, he said that...
You did tell him that you were quitting, didn't you?
Yeah, of course I told him. I said, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I cannot open the Whitney Dance Company.
Go on.
Well, then I said that I thought it was better to tell him now, and this way he had time to find a replacement.
What was his reaction?
Total rage.
Figures.
Then he said that I couldn't quit, that he wouldn't allow it or accept it, that he had already
Postponed the opening once and he can't do it again. Yeah, I know. Well, that's just too bad about him. He can't make you do something that you don't want to do. Can he?
Gavin, I have to go through with it. I have no choice.
That's because he never gave you one. Damn it! I knew I should have gone there by myself. I know how intimidating he can be. I never should have let you go there on your own. Hell, it's like throwing a Christian to the lions.
I couldn't help myself.
Well, you should have stood up to him. You should have just said, no, no, no. I mean, who is he to manipulate people's lives like this?
He's right. I can't quit now. I didn't think it over clearly enough. I mean, there's too many people involved, too much money has been spent, too much time has been put into it already. Now, this is my responsibility, and I'm going to face it. And if I fail, then I fail. But I am going to work day and night, so I am ready for this opening.
Even if it kills you?
Yes, even if it kills me.
Just wait till I see this punk behind bars.
Gentlemen, and Miss Bannister, as you know, this is simply a preliminary hearing, not a formal arraignment. So we may regard this then as an informal pre-trial session. And since it is informal, I think we can all sit during the proceedings. Mr. Krause, we won't discuss the minor charges against you at the moment. The most serious charge alleged by the state is assault with intent to kill. Do you understand that?
Oh, sure, I understand it. But I'm here to say...
I just want to know if you understand the charge, Mr. Krause. You have a legal representative present, and Miss Bannister will be allowed to lead the discussion on your behalf in a few moments. We're only gathering information here. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Sir.
First, I'd like to hear from the arresting officers, Detectives Stoner and Tyler. Mr. Tyler, will you give us the details leading up to and including Mr. Krause's arrest?
Yes, Your Honor. We obtained a warrant for the suspect's arrest. We went to his rooming house on Franklin Street to take him into custody. When we approached the door, we identified ourselves and informed the suspect that we had a warrant for his arrest and that he was obliged to comply. Not only did he refuse, he put a bullet through the door, which necessitated our using force to gain entry.
Mr. Stoner, do you want to add something to this narrative?
Only, Your Honor, that it was necessary to shoot the doorknob off the door in order to gain entry. Once inside, we saw that the suspect had a gun. It was necessary to use force to subdue him, and it was during that struggle that he fired a shot, obviously intending to kill, thereby avoiding arrest.
Alleged intent, Your Honor.
A jury will decide that, Mr. Stoner. Miss Bannister, do you have some questions here?
I have none for Mr. Tyler. However, I do have a few questions for Mr. Stoner.
Yes, Miss Bannister.
Tell me, Mr. Stoner, was Mr. Krause aiming a gun directly at you when you and your partner entered his room?
No, Counselor, I cannot say that the gun was aimed directly at us when we entered. However, it was in his hand.
Then when exactly did the gun go off?
During the struggle between the suspect and myself.
So the gun went off accidentally as a result of the struggle, and not because Mr. Krause was aiming directly at you.
Therefore, it would be presumptuous to assume that Mr. Krause wanted to wound you intentionally.
Yeah, that was just the way...
Mr. Krause, I'll ask you not to interrupt this proceeding. Mr. Stoner.
No, Miss Bannister, I wouldn't say that Mr. Krause wanted to wound me intentionally. However, if it hadn't been for the struggle made necessary by your client in order to disarm him, it would be crystal clear. The facts speaking for themselves. He would have killed me, and quite intentionally.
I've had to hear the celestial voice today. All right, Miles, where were we?
We were talking about how I keep everybody else out of harm's way. Managed to get smashed in the mouth with my little boy's toy fire truck.
For a minute there, I was afraid you had another run-in with the man in this folder.
Who's that?
Your favorite chauffeur, Sky Whitney's right-hand man.
Gunther? You got a folder? You got a file on Gunther?
I do now. I was getting kind of curious, so I sent out for his yellow sheet. His full name is Gunther Sylvester Wagner.
Sylvester? That sounds like a senator. It's too bad it's wasted on him. Where's he from?
No, there's no indication where he's from originally. He's got a record.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
3 arrests on assault charges, no convictions, no arrests on weapons charges. Certainly hangs around with some unsavory characters. You haven't had another run-in with him, have you, since the dart-throwing incident?
Well, not a run. Actually, he did come by the house to inquire about Jody's health at Skylar Whitney's insistence.
Oh, here's something else. Married twice. Both marriages some time ago, and neither one lasted very long.
2 wives. They must have been saints.
Well, according to this, his most recent relationship lasted several years. That was just before he started working for Whitney. Her name is Roxanne Walker.
Listen, does he have any kind of psychiatric history or record of...
It's funny you ask that. No, he doesn't, but she does, Roxanne. As a matter of fact, right now she's living in a state mental institution. That says a lot for Gunther.
Yeah, well, that's all very interesting, but at the moment I'm really much more interested in his employer, Skylar Whitney.
Oh, sorry, Chief. I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right, Damien. I was just leaving anyway. I got to put a cold compress on my lip. Having an early supper with my wife. She thinks this is funny.
Thank you, Miles.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
So, how did the pre-trial hearing go on Krause?
Oh, it came off okay. I have no doubts that the people of the state will put Mr. Krause right where he belongs, despite the efforts of his shrewd and very shrewish young lawyer.
Miss Bannister again?
Mm-hmm.
You might as well take a look at this. It's a yellow sheet on Whitney's chauffeur.
Gunther Sylvester Wagner.
That's his full name.
Quite a history here. No convictions.
You know, that's not the only interesting piece of information I just picked up.
There's more.
Yeah, there's more. Not on Gunther. On Damien Tyler.
Well, I'm flattered.
I got a little curious, so I did some investigating on my own, Tyler. Strictly off the record. Came up with something very interesting.
Well, what's... Come on, don't keep me in suspense. Give me the facts.
The fact that you don't use your full name. I thought that was curious. Why is that?
Well, my name's too long. And I like to keep things short and simple. It's easier that way.
What are you talking about? Your name is Wilcox. Damien Tyler Wilcox. It's a very distinguished name. How come you dropped the Wilcox?
Well,
You got a reason?
Sure I do. Very personal one.
Personal reason, huh?
House of Montoy. May I pour you some more hot sake?
Please.
In Japanese.
Makes you happy. All right, I will try very, very hard to stay away from it.
Good. I'll be happy when Jody has absolutely nothing to do with either Skylar Whitney or his henchman, Gunther Sylvester Wagner.
Let's drink to that.
brought you some Japanese appetizers.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Okay, honey, let's cut it right here. Okay, we'll take a few minutes break. It's no good, Jody. You're trying too hard. Don't push. You can't do anything if you try to force it out of desperation. We can't accomplish anything under these circumstances.
Please, Kevin, let's...
No. I said it wouldn't work.
We have to keep trying.
Now, would you listen to me for a minute, honey? There's such a thing as trying beyond the point of endurance. And then we call an ambulance. So sit down for a little while and take a few minutes breather, okay? Oh, Jody, please, don't. You see, I told you. Well, hello, Sky.
You know, you really are one hell of a big help. What's going on here? What's up?
She's not going on, that's what. You know, I've never known you to make a well-timed entrance, ever. If it hadn't been for you, she'd be fine in a few minutes.
What is she crying about?
She's crying because she's exhausted, she's overworked, she's unhappy, she's hungry, and she's scared to death of you.
Of me?
Yeah, of you, big shot. She came over today to tell you that she's not going on with this. She's quitting, Sky, and I don't know how to put it any plainer than that. She will not open the Whitney Dance Company. Repeat, not.
All right, now all this is a bunch of nonsense. There is nothing wrong with that girl, but what a little encouragement couldn't cure.
I'm going to tell you once more, and if you don't believe it, if it's not clear, I'm going to go running out to the street screaming for help. Now, what Jody said is true. You can't intimidate her anymore. She's unable to continue. We have to find a replacement immediately. If not, she's going to wind up a basket case, and they're going to have to buy 2 straitjackets, one for each of us.
Oh, I get it. You were the one who encouraged her to quit, weren't you? Yeah, I knew it. Little boy genius, huh? Well, you just get this straight. That little girl is going on if it is the last thing she does, and you are going to encourage her and get her ready to go on if it is the last thing that you do. And if you can't make it, my friends, it may very well be the last thing that you do on this green earth.
I am so sick of your threats, I think I'll throw up.
Too bad! But you're going to be an awful lot sicker if you don't shape up, and shape up that kid in there. Man, you're going to be so sick you'll wish you were never born. And this is your last warning. And if I hear that you've given it to her, 1 inch, no doctor, no team of doctors is going to be of any help, because there won't be enough of you left to put back together again. Now, you just remember that, Buster.
I'm not scared of you a nickel's worth, Whitney.
Now, you just look, little boy. You be nice and quiet, and you do as you're told, because this is your last chance.
The scar on Jeff Brown isn't just similar to Sky's, it's exactly the same. What does that mean? Can it possibly mean that the man I married is Jeff Brown?
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find. Always on my mind. And frustrated days